We've sometimes talked about these economic dominoes that we like to look at. It's all of these different areas of the economy that keep the economy moving, keep the economy out of a recession, in an expansion. And what we've seen over the past 18 months that pretty much every domino has fallen, whether it's manufacturing, whether it's housing, which is in a complete standstill, whether it's business confidence. These are all things that we've seen these dominoes fall one by one. U.S., the leading indicator index, which has been negative on the longest amount of time we've ever seen since a recession. But all of these have been getting much weaker. The two that have kept standing has been the consumer and the labor market. Well, we've seen the consumer really start to crack. Consumers are simply finally getting squeezed by that inflation that we've had for really the last 4 years. We understand that inflation has come down, but don't forget that it's coming down from levels it's still growing. So if you look at things in this chart, for example, auto insurance, which is up since before the pandemic, over 50%. These are necessity items consumers have to buy. Look at things like electricity, up over 35%, food, up over 25%. All of these items are growing much faster than wages. So consumers were just finally tapped out. We're seeing this in the spending numbers. Consumers are getting weaker, and that can have an impact on GDP. Now, when we get to the labor market, we've just started to see some signs of cracking, whether it's the unemployment rate rising to 4.3% when it was 3.5% the year before, or whether it's manufacturing employment deeply in contraction territory, or you can start to look at initial jobless claims and as well as continuing claims. These things are rising dramatically. The labor market tends to be the last thing to fall, and we are starting to see that decline. Now, when we talk about what does that mean for the future, we may not have hit the technical definition of a recession, but we still are very cautious going forward, especially because most people think we're already in a recession. When it comes to looking at Americans, there's been a recent survey where 3 in every 5 Americans believes we're already in a recession. You combine that kind of concern from the consumer along with the fact that businesses are getting concerned with what's going on from a political standpoint, and that's just really the recipe for a lot of challenges and headwinds for the economy going forward.